What's up, everybody? It's KHA'ZIX, and we are doing now a commentary of me playing some KHA'ZIX in a solo queue game mid lane. KHA'ZIX, one of those champions that can just completely demolish people. One of the highest win rate champions right now that I own as well, at about 80% or less win rate right now. And so he's very successful. I'd like to do this commentary for you guys so you can figure out just how to do it and what makes him so strong. So I'm using a real manly page on him. Basically, I've got a page with armor pin and flat AD, flat armor, and flat magic resist. So basically just flat everything across the board that makes you strong in the early game and onwards. And for the masteries, I'm just doing a 21-9 for full offense and a little bit of defense in the mid lane. Now I'm going to be up against an Evelynn, and I chose this game because, well, Evelynn is one of those picks that gets banned a lot, and she's very strong. She has a lot of roaming potential, but one of the things I like to do on KHA'ZIX is, well, I like to roam on him, and he does a very good job of roaming and picking up kills around the map if you play him correctly. Now, early game, I just try and get to level 6 as soon as possible. We did have a little bit of a gank coming up here early on with Maokai. It doesn't look like it was going to be successful. He didn't get in range, but he is going to be walking up here. Looks like he actually walked right past Evelynn, so this is going to put him in a bad situation. They did see him coming. There's the ping. They're all running towards him. Even their jungler is there. Xin Zhao is there to pick it up. He's going to walk right into to death here as he gets pulled back in, and there's going to be the kill, first blood for the enemy team, and Lucas is going to go down after grabbing the kill on his top lane. So just a little bit of a trade there. I might have been able to roam up there and make something happen. By the time I realized that they were still going to be fighting in this area here, I thought they were going to be able to make it out this way, but the pull from Darius made it not possible. I instead opted to just sit here and freeze the lane a little bit and get a bit of farm in so I could try and be ahead of the Evelynn just a tad bit. For me, I am all about getting past the early game, so when I start with KHA'ZIX, I do a crystalline flask, ward, several health potions, and one mana potion. This will get you to level 6, even if you have a lot of harassment, or let's say they do a gank that doesn't kill you but hurts you quite a bit. You're going to have those potions to keep you alive in the lane just long enough until you can get where you are really strong, which is past level 6. Now, you're going to be maxing your W as your first spell for KHA'ZIX. KHA'ZIX is extremely powerful if you max your W first, because it gives you a lot of sustain in the lane. Now, I am going to get jumped onto here. I wait for Xin Zhao to get his dash off on me. So once he gets his dash off on me, then I use my leap so he doesn't get any more attacks. And that allows me to get the least amount of damage possible from his gank that he did to me there. So, alright, let's go ahead and speed it up just a bit. This is pretty standard laning phase. Once again, he jumps onto me. I use my leap after he does that. Of course, using your leap a lot can drain your mana quite a bit. And I went ahead and put down my ward in case he decides to stick around a little bit longer. And that's going to help me out for now. I'm just going to sit here in the lane, farm it up. Make sure whenever you use your W to farm, you try and walk up to the minion wave so that you get the healing from that. Now, you have to be kind of careful. Obviously, Evelynn is really strong early levels against certain champions that can't just all in. Like, one champion that would beat the hell out of Evelynn early is Riven, but KHA'ZIX is probably strongest around level 3. A lot of times, I can first blood someone if I hit level 3 and I have all 3 of my abilities, and if they get just a little bit by themselves, I can jump on them and then take them down. Evelynn, though, can poke quite a bit and do a decent amount of damage. Also, I'm not the highest amount of health from the damage that Xin Zhao did to me, so I had to definitely pay attention to that. Pretty soon I'm going to be going back. I only have one health potion left, and so I'm going to most likely clean out this creep wave here and head back. Normally you want to stay in the lane until after level 6. Luckily I got level 6 there. I went ahead and evolved my E first. Now, most of the time I will evolve my leap first, sometimes my W if it's just a really hard lane and I'm not thinking that I'm going to get any roam off. Nice job from Maokai. He came in for the gank, and since I had my E leveled up, I was able to leap on her, get the ignite off, do tons of damage, and clean her up. So let's go ahead and fast forward it until I get back to the lane. I was able to pick up my brutalizer from that last kill there. I got another ward and another health potion. Well, actually, that health potion I had from before, and of course, my crystalline flasks will regenerate themselves. And the Maokai is going to be getting me a blue buff. Blue buff is great for KHA'ZIX because he can just sit there in the lane and throw out those W's a lot more. And that's the main thing that the blue buff is good on KHA'ZIX for, is to just sit there and spam your W as much as possible. And one thing you need to get good at with KHA'ZIX is learning to farm using your Q when necessary to achieve the last hit. Now, Evelyn looks like she might be roaming. Yeah, she went to the bottom, and I pretty much expected that to happen because she left the lane. And I decided to do what I could to roam down here. Normally, you want to roam if the enemy mid roams as well. I was able to find the support sitting there in the bush. I knew she was there. I was like, well, she's backing, so please stop her from backing. I was able to pick up the kill with my W and my evolved leap. I don't think I would have gotten the kill if I didn't have the evolved leap, because she probably would have been able to go back in time. Luckily, because of the timing of that kill down there, we're able to pick up a dragon here. So this is going to be good for our team. So we pick up the dragon. I'm going to head back to the mid and just continue farming a little bit more. Toss out those W's anytime I can. Obviously, I want to try and W when I'm close to the minion wave. I didn't do it that time. I just did it for poke. So sometimes you're going to be using the W for poke, and a lot more whenever you have blue buff. You generally don't use W for poke if you don't have blue buff, but when you have it, you just use it as much as possible. And you see right there, I walk right up into the creep wave, use my W, I get a little bit of health from that. I thought Evelyn was going to roam, but I see her walk right back a little bit. And so for now, I'm just kind of hanging around here, doing a bit of farming and waiting for a moment to roam. There's no one top lane, and they're just now getting back to the bottom, so I could roam here in just a little bit if I wanted to, or I could sit mid a little bit and just continue to farm. Now that Maokai's mid, he might get a gank attempt off, and there it is. Maokai is going to go ahead and come around in this direction and maybe even do a tower dive, but since I shoved the lane, I'm going to go ahead and walk towards Mayo and see if we can make something happen. Xin Zhao's going to be walking towards me. He thinks we're trying to do something on bottom, but we waited for him, and we baited it out. We get the shutdown onto him, so that's 432 gold. I also got the assist as well, so that's great. That's good enough. I don't necessarily need to roam right now. I'm going to go ahead and shove once again, since there is a large creep in the wave. And once I do that, we should be good. He's going to go ahead and get the engagement on Evelyn. I made it look like I was going back so that she felt safe in the lane. I was all the way back here, but that's the cool thing about KHA'ZIX is he's got that evolved leap. You can jump really far, so I was able to get from here all the way up here by the time the Evelyn was able to start moving again from Maokai's twisted advance, and that was able to secure the kill. Now I have a black cleaver. I started on my boots of speed, and what I'm going to do usually on KHA'ZIX, well, pretty much like 99% of the time on KHA'ZIX, is I will build a boots of mobility so that I can roam even more. And depending on how the game's going, I'll get it sooner or later, but in this particular case, the game's going really well, and I'm just going to get a black cleaver to exert complete dominance over this Evelyn as we keep on going here. So keep on shooting those W's out as much as possible. Once I get level 11 and hit that evolved W, which is the one you'll always max either first or second, depending on the game, that's going to be really strong. Now, Evelyn is roaming once again. They are pushed up quite a bit, so you're going to have to be careful. Xin Zhao is walking past this ward too, so there's going to be 4v2 bottom, and this is going to be very scary for these guys. There's Evelyn. She's probably going to get the kill here. Most likely, I should have roamed a little bit earlier there. I think I probably called out in chat because I normally do, but I don't think that they were expecting the Evelyn to be there as well, or expecting the Xin Zhao or something like that. But either way, it looks like they're going to go down here. One last auto attack. Boop, there it is. A Phantom Bottle is able to take down our Arteric, so that's 2 kills bottom. I did shove the mid lane just a little bit. I'm going to hang out in this area here. There's no dragon to worry about since we already took that, so that's a pretty good situation for us. And I'm just going to keep on shoving up this lane a bit. I noticed that the other 2 went down, so they're not going to try and get a kill on me mid, so I'm pretty much safe for now. I'm going to pick up my blue buff here and just continue farming. Main thing on KHA'ZIX, you want to try and get as much farm as possible in between your roaming. Top lane was able to take down our Rumble, and we did find Evelyn there in the bush, and she flashes out before I'm able to land my full combo on her. So I'm not going to grab the kill this time, unfortunately. I'm a little bit low on mana, and I wasn't able to grab blue buff. I think that Maokai might have taken it on accident. Yeah, I think Maokai took it on accident. So he got the blue buff, and I'm not really too worried about that, so I'm just going to go back and regenerate. I now have my boots of mobility. I picked up a vision ward as well, so I can put that down in the middle of the lane and hope for a good situation by basically making her feel safe, but she will not be. And I had a green as well, so I placed down the green. Now I'm going to be rolling to the bottom and seeing if I can pick up a kill. We got 4 people down here. I'm not sure if they have vision ward, so they do know we're here. They had vision ward, but either way, we can take it on the turret because with 4 of us here, it's not going to be very easy for them to defend this. So all we got to do is attack the turret. It's probably not going to be safe to dive since they all know we're here and Xin Zhao could potentially be coming in. I don't know. We don't have vision of him, so we don't know exactly where he's at. But generally that's what's going to happen. So they all back off. They just let us get a free turret. And now we're going to be roaming up to look for action here. The blue is gone. We're going to put down a ward. That's going to give us detection if they try and stop us from doing dragon. We had good timer on the dragon, so bottom tower goes down. We get the dragon. We're flowing very nicely in this game, and we're ahead by an okay amount. We're not like super high, but with the 2 dragons and that turret now, that's going to put us in a good position. We get the stun off onto the Graves. That's going to allow me to get a burst combo off onto him. And I wasn't able to get the kill just yet, but with Misfortune and my Ignite, I grabbed the kill actually. Unfortunately, Maokai is a little bit out of position. He gets caught. I'm going to try and take down the Janna. I have just enough damage to do this. If she flashes out, she's going to get away there. I had just barely enough mana to use my Q, and I'm able to take her down. Now, I'm a little bit low on mana here, and I'm in a bad situation with Xin chasing me. So I finally get my leap off, but it causes him to flash. So yeah, I get shut down. Big deal. At least I got his flash out of the way, so that's fine for now. So now I'm picking up my BF sword. A lot of times on KHA'ZIX, I'll actually go for a Last Whisper right after my Black Cleaver, and that will help out in games where they have lots of armor. But in this one, I'm actually really far ahead. Since I've got 5 kills this game and I'm ahead, generally what I want to do after Black Cleaver is just go straight damage because no one has any armor yet, so I don't need any extra armor pinned until later. So I'll pick up my BF sword and then I'll probably start working on my Last Whisper if I see any armor items being picked up. Once they start getting around 100 armor, that's when I like to have that Last Whisper. But since they're diving top, they're definitely going to get the kill. I know that, but I know I can pick up the double kill, so I shoot in my W, run in there, and I'm able to take out an easy double kill. And that's the cool thing about KHA'ZIX, is he has so much damage. Since I'm level 11, I've evolved my W. It hit on both slowing them and causing my passive extra damage. And then the leap, auto attack. I mean, there's really nothing they could have done there. So I'm going to do my best to shove down this wave and pick up the turret with the assistance of the next wave of creeps. Darius comes back to stop me, so I get it down to halfway. That's good enough for now, and I'm not worried about it. I've got tons of damage right now compared to the rest of the enemy team. And I almost got caught there. She may have used her ultimate. I'm not sure if she used her ulti or if it was just a regular attack. It looks like she did not use her ulti. But I just leaped over the wall. It wasn't too big of a deal. And there's 4 people in the mid lane. They can't really shove it down. We have 4 people here as well. And I've got my W, which can completely destroy waves. Now, here's a cool trick with KHA'ZIX that you should try and get good at doing is you normally, if you shoot your evolved W at the creep wave, it'll stop at the front wave of creeps. But if you walk like into the creep wave, where you're like kind of even with them, and then you shoot it at the back wave, it'll go past the front wave, but still hit the front wave, and so you'll be able to farm the entire wave that way, rather than having to use 2 Ws to farm the creep wave normally. Now Darius is going to come in here. I'm going to make sure I don't get pulled in. I want to make sure and avoid that, and then I jump in, do as much damage as possible, using my ulti to escape. I wanted them to kind of focus me down just a tiny amount to avoid damage onto my team, and then I used my stealth to escape, which allowed us to get in a good position. We only lost Maokai. We were able to take 2 kills. The rest of them are extremely low, so it kind of sucked that we couldn't finish that fight off a little bit better, but we still won the fight. We got a turret, and we're pushing up to a second one as well. And unless they're able to get back really fast, they're not going to stop us. So we get a free 2 turrets out of that fight there. I tell everyone, let's go back, and I'm going to go ahead and grab the blue buff. Blue buff on KHA'ZIX is amazing. The cooldown reduction is awesome, and obviously running out of mana sucks, but that's why you also have the Crystalline Flask. The Crystalline Flask is very helpful on KHA'ZIX as well. So you notice now I'm actually working towards an Infinity Edge. A lot of people like to pick up a Bloodthirster, but I don't really like Bloodthirster so much. You notice right now I have tons of damage on it, and like she goes down so fast. But normally I don't like to go for Bloodthirster because by the time I get an Infinity Edge, generally, it's already so late in the game. The Infinity Edge is a more expensive item. It's stronger overall. All you need is 1 auto attack crit for that to become like just a massive amount of damage onto the enemy team. And it's just very powerful with all of the rest of KHA'ZIX's kit. So if I'm ahead, I'll go ahead and pick up that Infinity Edge first. Normally I will go for the Last Whisper first, but in this case they're just squishy enough, it doesn't matter for me. I'm going to grab the Infinity Edge and then I'll go for the Last Whisper. So we take yet another turret. I grab a few kills as well. I got the Evelyn earlier, and then I got the Janna. Our Misfortune gets caught out of position, is going to go down. Not terrible for us. We're not going to like lose anything for that. We still got the turrets and stuff. But we do have to back off for now. And grab our 3rd dragon of the game. So still, we're coming out ahead of that fight just because we got a dragon, which is worth 2 kills. And we might even be able to pick up a kill here. Lots of damage going in. Locust is able to take down the enemy graves. I got extremely low there, and I kind of did not expect the flash from Darius, so he gets a shutdown on me. Kind of outplayed there. I was hoping to just run up, hit W, and then walk back. So I wasn't, I didn't see that flash coming, and he got the kill on me, unfortunately. So a little bit greedy on my part, perhaps, but also just a good play for him having that flash, I guess. So I should be back soon. Here we go. So I'm back now. I've got my Infinity Edge, and I've already started working on my last Whisper. And that's going to allow me to just completely melt anyone, regardless of how much armor they have. Tanks won't even be able to defend themselves versus me. And if an AD carry gets a Guardian Angel, that's not going to really do them any good at all. Basically, be like they don't even have it. And that's 2 people get pulled in by Darius. We're going to have to fight this. I'm going to use my W passive to try and slow people down to help us escape. Wasn't able to finish off that Janna, unfortunately, but we do get a kill onto Master of Juice, which allows me to get my refresh. I'm able to jump in there, do some W damage, and we're going to finish off Pineapple with the help of Locust's Fire. And there is my leap. I jump in there. I do die, unfortunately. Phantom Bottle grabs a kill on me. I think he uses Ignite to grab that kill. But either way, we're able to now push down the turret. Hopefully they can grab that turret. There's only a few creeps left, but we're doing enough damage. And now the inhibitor is free for us. So we're in a really good spot. So I'm going to be up in 30 seconds, but the inhibitor will be down by then. I do now have a last Whisper. The next thing I usually grab will be a Home Guard Boots, because for me, I really like the mobility of being able to go back, restore your health, buy items, do whatever you need to do, and then get back to the fight as soon as possible. And I don't have enough money for that just yet, but I will soon enough. And Baron is going to be an option. I went ahead and grabbed a blue. It's very easy for me to grab that quickly. You just jump onto it with your E, use your W to take out the small creeps, and your Q will do tons of extra damage because of the singled out passive. That's the main thing with KHA'ZIX you can think about, is that you do so much extra damage when people are singled out. So always try and go for singled out targets, or try and bait people to move away from their creeps when you're fighting them. So now we're just kind of shoving out, looking for some dominance here. We put wards in the bushes. I'm going to take their red buff, so I'll be even bigger at this point. And still no sign of the enemy team, so we're just shoving in and looking for an opportunity to go for Baron, or potentially just in the game. So I went in. I wasn't trying to do a full engage there, but I did jump on top of the Zinjal because I knew they were going to run away. There's no way they were going to jump back and engage on me, otherwise they would have died, and I could have just ultied out. But I just wanted to do a little bit of poke damage. If you can ever get like some free poke damage in, that's always a good thing to do. Alright, Darius gets stunned. Not enough for us to really engage. We didn't want to go onto the turret. We're just going to use the creeps to play this safely. I did take a lot of damage from that Evelyn. I wasn't expecting that to come in. I was like, holy crap, she hurts right now. But I am very squishy. That's the thing about KHA'ZIX, is you're very squishy. My leap didn't go far enough. I got stuck on the edge there, and that's one thing that kind of sucks about KHA'ZIX's leap, is that you can sometimes get stuck on edges. You have to be very careful about that. So I pretty much die in that fight without doing anything useful at all. But luckily our team is so strong at this point that it doesn't really matter. We're able to take down the turret and clean up the rest of the enemy team. Pretty much aced them. I mean, Graves wasn't really there, so it's not a big deal. We're going to clean up that inhibitor, and that's basically GG. So KHA'ZIX, simply just an amazing champion right now mid lane. He has awesome roaming potential, especially once you grab those boots mobility and you've got that evolved leap. You can just jump onto people from such long range and pick up kills, which makes him very good. And once you have Last Whisper and Black Cleaver, no amount of armor is going to stop you, so it's really awesome all around. Thank you guys for watching this short commentary of me playing some KHA'ZIX in the mid lane. I'll see you around for the next one. Make sure you join the Cheese Army by subscribing up top, and I'll see you around for the next one. Peace out.